B-24 was a modern design featuring a highly efficient shoulder-mounted high-aspect Davis wing. The wing gave the B-24 a high cruise speed, long range, and the ability to carry a heavy bomb load. Compared to the B-17, it had a 6-foot larger wingspan, but a lower wing area. This gave the B-24 a 35% higher wing loading. The relatively thick wing held the promise of increased tankage while delivering increased lift and speed, but became unpleasant to fly when committed to heavier loadings. As experienced at high altitude and in bad weather, the Davis wing was also more susceptible to ice formations than contemporary designs, causing distortion and area fold, and resulting in the loss of lift. Early RAF B-24 flyers were the first aircrafts to cross the Atlantic Ocean as a matter of routine. In comparison with its contemporaries, the B-24 is relatively difficult to fly and had poor low-speed performances. It also had a lower ceiling and was less robust than the Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress. While aircraft crews tended to fly the B-17, General Staff favored the B-24 and procured it in large numbers for a wide variety of roles, at approximately 18,500 units, including over 4,600 manufactured by Ford Motor Company. It holds records as the world's most produced heavy bomber, multi-engine aircraft in American military history. The B-24 was used extensively in World War II. It served in every branch of the American Armed Forces, as well as several Allied air forces and navies, and saw the use in every theater operation. The primary users were the USA Air Force, USA Navy, the Royal Air Force, and the Royal Australian Air Force. Along with the B-17, the B-24 was the mainstay of the U.S. strategic bombing campaign in the Western European theater. Due to its range, it provided useful in bombing operations in the Pacific, including the bombing of Japan. Long-range anti-submarine. The B-24 played an instrumental role in closing the Mid-Atlantic Gap in the Battle of the Atlantic. By the end of the World War II, the technological breakthroughs of the Boeing B-29 Superfortress and other modern types had surpassed the bomber that served from the start of the war. The Liberator carried a crew of 10. The pilot and co-pilot sat along each other in a well-glazed cockpit. The navigator and bombardier, who could also double as a nose, sat in the nose and fronted on the pre-B-24 models, with a well-framed greenhouse nose with some 24 glazed panels in total, with 2 flexible ball mounts built it for defensive firepower using a .30 caliber and a Browning M1919 machine guns. The radar operator sat behind the pilots, facing sideways and sometimes doubled as the waist gunner. The upper gunner turret, when fitted, was located just behind the cockpit in front of the wing and was operated by the flight engineer, who sat adjacent to the radio operator. Behind the pilots in the tail, up to the 4 crew could be located in the waist, operating waist gunners, a retractable lower ball turret, and a tail gun turret, matching the nose turret. The waist gun hatches were provided with doors, with the ball turret required to be retractable from the ground clearance when preparing to land, as well as for great efficiency. The tail gunners powered twin gun turrets and it was located on the tail end behind the tail of the airplane. The B-24's first flight was December 29th, 1939, and it was retired and not used or stopped being manufactured in 1968. The introduction to like a lot of the Air Forces and the Navy was 1941. If you wanted to buy the plane today, it would cost you around $5.7 million. If you purchased it back then, it would cost you $297,627. I hope I persuaded y'all to buy the B-24, as it is an outstanding plane.